You guys know what time it is when you hear that intro music. It means we got another banger for you. It's Thursday. This is the Locker Room Show. If you're joining us for the first time, I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood. Every single Thursday, you guys, it goes down. We bring in some of the best from the football industry to serve you, share their story, and give you those tips and advice that you're looking for. So tonight, none other. And I'm going to start off by introducing the host with the most, my boy that holds me down on the other side of the defense. That's none other than one of St. Louis's finest, Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
I'm feeling real good right now, Coach. I'm feeling real good. I got one of
my
childhood heroes on now, man. And I don't look up to too many people, but hey, for me, this the show of the year. For me, personally, this is the show of the year right here.
Well, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. And I know we probably going to have St. Louis jumping on in the comments section and a bunch of people joining us. So if this is your first time, thank you for joining us. But let's get to the person you came to see, and that is the gentleman in the middle of the screen. Really, for a lot of you guys, doesn't need any introduction. Totes the rock like the finest of them. He's out of St. Louis, you guys. Went on to have an amazing career at the University of Wisconsin. For a lot of people, that's a running back you right there. And then went on to be a second-round draft pick by the San Diego Chargers, had a phenomenal NFL career. Now he gives back. He's got history in the church. There's nothing that this man and his family ain't doing. So let me get to it. It is none other than Mr. Terrell Fletcher. How's it going, boss man?
Man, let me tell y'all, it's so good to see you, Coach. Q, what's up, man? It's so good to see everybody, man. Thank y'all for having me. Now, let me tell you what. I'm going to tell you why y'all rocking. Y'all are rocking because anybody that want to have a football show on Thursday night while football is going on.
Oh, yeah.
We got to run through it. We got to run through it like used to. Yeah. So we got a year-round show, and just like Terrell said, we're not stopping nothing. We're going to give you some sauce.
This is
even
the
when
show.
There's some games. Hey. This is the show. We bring in the best. We bring in the best, and they come during the season. So this is where you guys are going to get the truth. That's why we call it the locker room, because it's no holds bar. This isn't a media thing, a stats thing. This is the real truth about what's going on in the industry, what went on in this man's life. So we're excited to have you, Terrell. Man. I see people already coming into the comment section. The great Eric Foss says, greetings from Northwest Alabama. We got the great Jimmy Rucker says, what's up, BYGP? Nice. So let's go. All right, you guys. Here we go. So if you're joining us for the first time, all the topics are right there on the bottom of the screen. We're going to zip through them, and we want to get expertise, you know. So first and foremost, once again, the great Terrell Fletcher, amazing career at Wisconsin. Like I said, not too many people can say they toted the rock at Wisconsin, you guys, and was a bell cow back. Went on to have a great career with the San Diego Chargers, and now is in the locker room ready to share with you guys. So I want to get into it, Terrell, because obviously, man, you had to be a dog from the beginning, you know, to get to the level that you got to. But when was it really the first time that it dawned on you personally that you were a little different than everybody else?
That's a good question, man, because I didn't really grow into my body until I was a junior in high school. I never played Little League. Like I was a street yard great, right? But I never played Little League, never played organized football. My first time putting on pads was my freshman year of high school. And, you know, I knew I was good, but I was so small. I wasn't sure, you know, how I would like fill out. And it was maybe around my junior year, right around the middle of my junior year. We ended up winning state, and our star wide receiver got hurt. And it was a huge game. It was a big game. He gets hurt, and basically coach comes up to me, and he's like, hey, look, you know, I'm about to put it on you. And I wasn't afraid at the moment. It's a big game. It was one of our rival teams. And he's like, I got to put it on you. And it just clicked. It clicked that I wanted the pressure. It clicked that I could compete with all the dogs. It clicked that even though this was like one of those schools that generally intimidates everybody. I was giving it to them, you know. So it was one of those things. I think it was that game against Riverview where in my junior, I realized I was like, yeah, I can do this.
You want to jump in? He must know about this game.
Man, it was okay. Look, I gotta tell this story. So it was
lay it out for us.
See, you probably remember it was one run, all right, because it was a night game. There's always big games we playoffs play Riverview at night. And T comes up and hits the hole, and somebody hit him, and he kept his balance, but he started backpedaling for like 15 yards. But yeah, because somebody hit him and turned him, but he was backpedaling, but he's out the hole and gained his balance and took off to the crib like 90. Like it was one of the best runs I've seen on any level, man. And we must have, I mean, like the homies used to be in my dad's basement watching that game over and over. Like
that was against Riverview too. That was our senior year. That was my senior year. But you know what's crazy, man? Because once I started realizing that I could compete with the best, coming into my senior year, the game was so easy. It moved slow. There were a handful of teams because they had, 3, 4, 5 guys that had D-level skill. They gave you more of a challenge, but I could just tell. You can just tell that you can do what you want to do. You can get people in the spots you want to get them into. You can talk to the coach and you're seeing the game and you're like, Coach, this is going to work. We got to stop doing that. Let's try to do this. Mm-hmm. And you're right. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you know that I'm not just in the game with my body. I'm in the game with my head. And man, shoot, you get to those last 3, 4 games my senior year. My goal was just don't get hurt because I knew I was going to hit 150. If you let me play all game, I'm going to be in the high 2s, low 3s. But it was just don't get hurt. Go out here, do your thing, help your team win, and get off the field. And that was, so around my senior years, my junior years when it clicked, I could do it. My senior years when it clicked, I'm different. I'm a little different from the rest. Yeah. Okay. And you kind of carry that swag about you and all of that stuff. So yeah.
All right. And probably nowadays you would have been in line for some NIL money too.
Hey, so I know he had Coach Alvarez camped out in our cafeteria every year.
I believe it.
NIL money before NIL came out.
Maybe Big Ten. Big Ten's a little different. They care about football in the Big Ten. So let's get to our next topic, man. And obviously you talked about the success in high school and then going on to college. But, for a lot of people, there's adjustments, Terrell. Maybe it's the size of the campus. Maybe it's the academics. Maybe it's the social life. As far as going from St. Louis to Madison, Wisconsin, we have a lot of young athletes that listen to our show. What were some of the biggest off the field adjustments for you?
Oh, clearly the university was not prepared for the commitment that they made to winning. Now stay with me. You have to remember when I came the years before, the football team was 1-11, 2-10. Okay. And then however they got all of us to start coming out of St. Louis and Chicago and New York and Jersey and how they did that, God knows. But it was just we all trusted Coach Alvarez. But they made a commitment. Then Michael Finley on the basketball squad and Griffith and all those guys, they made a commitment to win. And when you make a commitment to win in big-time sports, that means you're going to bring in some inner-city kids. You're going to bring in some African-American kids. And we just have to be a part of the process. And the hardest part was adjusting to a campus that wasn't ready for you to show up. Mm-hmm. We had to go to Milwaukee and Chicago to get things like soul food, get our hair cut good. We cut each other's hair, but to get a real good haircut,
real thing.
Absolutely. We had to jump on the highway, man, and drive an hour and a half to Milwaukee just to get a fresh cut. And, the city they just weren't ready. They just weren't ready initially. Now they got it, but, that was the biggest adjustment for me. And coming from St. Louis, now, I'm not, I never kind of paint the picture like I grew up in abject poverty, because I didn't. You know, we were lower middle class, just like everybody out in Hazelwood. The thing where we grew up is that everybody from the city who could get a little bit of coin moved into the county, and that's where we all sat. And all of our families were a paycheck or two away from being back in the hood, right? So we brought kind of that mentality, and we could go to the chicken shop and there'd be this big old barrier between the dude behind the counter and you, and the glass is this thick, right? Because so you can't bring a bunch of kids like us to a university, and then the guy go in the bookstore and he just walks in the back.
Right.
I mean, he walks in the back. It's like he trusts us. Like,
it's like, how does this work?
Hey, for real.
You got extra chicken fingers.
Absolutely. So a lot of the guys, and myself included, we struggle with that kind of real freedom, right? It wasn't just about being able to stay up late at night and all that kind of stuff. It was the true freedom of, making moral decisions, choosing to get up and go to class. We just didn't have that. So that was a real challenge for us, for many kids that grew up like me, and to have to perform at such a high level. Is
there a way to prep a young man for that? I mean, because there's a lot of kids who self-sabotage, and you only get one shot. We're about to see Michigan and Michigan State play. There was a fight last year in the middle of the tunnel. Those kids might not get another shot. So is there a way to, when you see a Terrell Fletcher about to take this path, and his path is going to lead him out of St. Louis, is there a way to better prep a young man for that?
Coach T, it takes the village. And I'm going to tell you, beyond the locker room, it's not just about a coach, because your high school coach, 99% of them are telling you all the right things to do. And most of the time, if you just could do what they said do, you'd be fine. The problem is that there are external pressures. There are other things that are when I was playing, I had a guy come up to me and he basically was asking me, like how many touchdowns I was going to score. And I don't know, like you guys knew how I was I never bragged about, man, I'm putting down 3 on these cats. I never said anything like that. But I found out he was betting on the games. So his deal was just don't go over 3. Like that's what he took. Now I'm 17. I'm 17. Our game is the show in Missouri.
Man.
And I had no idea. But watch what I'm about to tell you. One of the most famous drug dealers in our area, knew him well, grew up right around the corner from us, came up to me one day at practice, after practice, they all sitting down, after practice, and I'm wondering what's getting ready to happen? Who are they up here for? And they like, hey, they used to call me Lil Myron. That's my brother's name. Myron for their age.
Myron the oldest, yeah.
Yeah, that's my oldest brother. They'd be like, come here, Lil Myron, come here, Lil Myron. And I go over and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he said, hey, I heard about what happened. He's like, don't do that. And we got you. Don't do that. And we got you. And that's what I mean when I say the village. In other words, he was like, no, you're the dude that's going to make it. And you're not going to get caught up in that. And we've got your back.
Yeah.
So
was this in high school or college?
High school, man.
High school, man.
Wow.
Know how to prepare somebody. Wow. I'm saying it's more than just the coach, and it's more than just getting familiar with, a crowd. You got to have some people that's got your best interests at heart that will protect you from those external things that most 17-year-olds don't really know how to handle, and that was just one example, I mean, I came home from college once and just wanted to hang out with my friends. And at that time, some of my friends had kind of taken a nefarious path. Their path was different than mine. I didn't know how to say no. I loved them. I had been knowing them since grade school, and we're at the Renaissance. Q,
yeah.
And it's about to go down, and they just a guy comes up. They like, Fletch, come on, you got to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we all here, man. It's got to be. And he's like, no, they will get me. We got to get you out of here.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So when you see it, we've got to protect it. When our community recognizes that this kid is bright, this kid is a good athlete, this child has, whatever it is, when you recognize it, when we see it, it takes the whole village to kind of protect it. And that doesn't mean that we let other people go, but when there's a diamond shining, that's a little bit different than the rest of the diamond shining. Yeah. And in my community where I grew up in Hathaway, I'm super grateful for the brothers and sisters in Hathaway because they grabbed me and they wouldn't let me do dumb stuff, right? Yeah. They just wouldn't let me do the dumb stuff. And I found out that my story wasn't germane to just me. That some of my other guys had stories just like this. Some guys just pulling to the side saying, "Come on, man, you can't do this. You can't do this." The irony of it all is I had that same conversation happen in college with now the former head coach of Michigan State. He was my roommate, and Tuck was my roommate in college.
Oh, wow.
And he pulled me to the side one day, and he's like, "Fletch, you are the only one in our group that's got a legitimate shot at the NFL. You got to get through this last year and a half. We got to get you through this last year." So I remember those kind of things, Coach. I don't forget. One, I don't forget it because I'm grateful for it, but I don't forget it in platforms like this and in real life that when I see it happening, it's hard for me not to be that to somebody, because that's what it could have gone very different if those people who didn't, these cats have not called me and been like, "You owe me nothing." Like, I came from the dopest hood that you could imagine because nobody has ever told me that I owed them anything. They're winning because I'm winning. Their success is, man, just go out there and do it. Even when I got in a little trouble in college, that was what their story was. Man, we did this because you can make it. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that. And Coach, I know that's, sometimes people want to hear like, how do you prepare a guy football wise? I'm saying, let's start before we get on the field. Let's recognize the diamonds in our rough. Let's recognize those diamonds in our neighborhoods, communities, our church groups, families, and let's get to them and remind them that they're a diamond, and they're going to be a blessing to more people than themselves. And how can we protect you so that you can get to where we see your potential? And
amazing.
I had that.
Yeah.
No, and Coach Foss right there saying valuable information young guns can learn from. This is huge, and that's why I want you to just keep going because we've lost that to a certain extent in a lot of communities. So I'm glad you brought that up. But let's get on to our next topic. And hey, you guys are getting the truth right here in the Locker Room Show from a St. Louis great, Wisconsin great, Chargers great right here. I wanted to bring this up because this one caught my attention, and it was obviously the superstar quarterback for the USC Trojans, Caleb Williams. Most are projecting him to be the number 1 overall pick, but he said that, hey, I got another year. I can come back to college if I want to, make a bunch of NIL money, and if I'm going to get drafted, whoever's going to draft me, we're going to know who's number 1 pick. We want you to give me a little equity. And this is something actually that also Aaron Rodgers tried with the Jets as he was signing this offseason. He didn't end up accomplishing it. But I wanted to ask you guys, and Guru, will start off with you, and I want to hear your opinion. In the next 10 years or so, do we see a player actually get equity, man, to suit it up for somebody?
Coach, that's really hard to say. I don't foresee, but I will say the difference between Caleb and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers been doing this for years, man. So he's earned the right to make that type of demand. This kid hasn't played a snap in the league. As Terrell just said, he needs to manage and try not to get hurt. they just took a significant loss as well, so that might knock him out of the Heisman running, in regards to a record and them losing in the manner that they did. I think they got blew out by like 20. But kid, get there first with your head screwed on right. Put the numbers up consistently, and then maybe, depending on where you're at, that could be a possibility. We can never say never, but at this point in his career, you're still at SC, haven't got drafted yet. That's way too bold of a statement to make, man, and a request, man. Way too bold.
Talk to me a little bit, Terrell. I mean, obviously, you know how the dynamics of NFL contracts work and everything. Do you ever see a player just getting a little piece of that equity?
Not in American sports, because ours are privately owned organizations, as opposed to, say, Manchester United or one of the soccer teams that over that are more publicly open. And the other thing is you have to be transcendent, right? You have to be, and I agree with Coach Q when he said, you got to get there. Then you have to absolutely turn it upside down. Like, not just get there, not just be good, but you have to turn it upside down. You got to change culture. You got to have paparazzi following the game. You've got to have millions and millions of people showing up to your press conferences. You got to do it Beckham-ish, Messi.
Right.
You got to be Ronaldo.
There you go.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And even they didn't get an option at ownership while they were playing. I love where his head is. Now, don't get me wrong. I love where his head is.
Right.
I just don't think there's enough pieces of the pie, the way the NFL organizations are set up, for them to share it. Many of them are passing it down to their children. They are bringing in minority stakes, which it can be, let me see, it can be debated if it's worth having a minority stake in the NFL team, unless you're like 49%, right? So somebody will ultimately, and we're looking right now, it's a couple buddies of mine that I know are in potential running for a minority stake, and it would be really awesome for them to have it. I just think that, Warrick Dunn's got equity stake. Also, former running back for the Jets, he's positioned. Curtis is positioning himself for a really significant piece, of a squad. So nice. I think he's the closest one with the real significant piece.
Right.
Okay.
It's significant.
But still, they're not active players either.
They got big bank.
Yeah.
They have star-studded careers, and it's just hard to do that while a player is playing. I'll never say never, and if it happens, it'll happen at the quarterback level.
Agreed.
It'll happen at the quarterback level. I just love where he's thinking, though. Somebody's in his ear asking him to ask the right questions. I like it. I just think we're really a ways off from that happening.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, I can agree totally with 41 here. I mean, man, even Elway didn't get a piece. Marino didn't get a piece. Terry Bradshaw didn't get a piece, and neither did Troy Aikman. These are all those back-awards.
All of those guys.
Right, exactly. We can keep going. Dan Fouts, right? So it's, we can keep going. So I mean, where the kid's head is, absolutely, man. But it's like you have to completely change the game to even remotely make that type of request.
Yep. And Coach Foss says Arthur Blank gifted Warrick Dunn his. So obviously you got a special owner that may extend.
That ain't happening with Jerry.
And he's special through and through. Yeah, no, Jerry ain't.
Mr. Kraft neither. Good luck.
Yeah. So there you go. But it may be something we see in the future. Who knows? And like Terrell said, that's the way you young cats want to be thinking for sure. It's thinking about some ownership.
I'll tell you what to look for. And this is why he's just, my hero in many regards. From a professional standpoint, watch Magic Johnson move. Watch how he moves. Mm-hmm. Magic will be behind the first African-American, athlete. If it happens, Magic will be behind it happening. I'm just trying to think. I'm going through my head, who would give up 5%, 3% to somebody that hasn't played yet.
In America, to somebody who hasn't played.
Yeah, they don't even want to give you, a guaranteed contract if you haven't played.
In football,
Right.
No, good point. Right. So maybe we see Caleb come back to college at USC. Who knows if he's calling his bluff? But this was another one, you guys, talking about just new age sports, where things are at. And they kind of eased it on us. I think it started maybe with a preseason game and a couple regular season games. Now, we're talking about possibly having a Super Bowl, you guys, in London, a Super Bowl outside of U.S. soil. So, Q, talk to me, Guru, is when you think about the business side of the game, think about the logistics. Do we see a Super Bowl in London? Is that a thumbs up from the Guru as commissioner? Is that, hey, no, we're stepping out of bounds. We need to keep it on U.S. soil?
I don't know, Coach. In theory, that would be great. Having a Super Bowl like in Wembley Stadium, 100,000 people. In theory, that sounds great. What I feel like the NFL is doing, obviously, they're trying to expand the sport globally, and that's great. But you're always going to have an uphill battle with soccer, obviously. But I see exactly what they're doing. I think one of the reasons for that is you keep hearing a lot of people talking, trying to make it some type of incorporated into the Olympics. So I feel like that's part of the equation is why the other reason why they're trying to do that. So, yeah, in theory, it sounds great. But what about all the U.S. citizens that want to attend the Super Bowl? That would make it that much harder for them to do so, and that might hurt ratings. Who knows? But it sounds great. So we'll just have to see, man.
Since when has the National Football League cared about what their fans feel or think?
That's
right?
a good point, too.
And I don't say that critically necessarily. Here's what I like about it. I like about the idea of taking football and making it a globalized game. And if the game is globalized, then it also raises the salary structure for all of the players. So if you want to start to see football players get paid like basketball players, then you get some of the money coming from other, all over the world. Now, let's be clear as it relates to revenue, TV structure. The National Football League runs circles around all of the other major sports in the United States. It's not even close where basketball is in relation. But baseball, basketball have smaller rosters. Football carries almost 4 times the amount of people on a team. They actually spend, per average, more money on their top 10 players than basketball spends on its top 3 or 4 players. And baseball the same way. So you hear guaranteed contracts and you hear all that stuff, but go all the way down to the 9th player on the baseball roster and then go to the 40th player on a 53-man roster, and you'll see that the National Football League guy on average is getting paid a lot better. He has better benefits. He has better retirement. He has better all the things, right? Because of the way that they've chosen to do NFL. Now, we saw this like 5 years ago. Took the game to Mexico City. Took the game to London. Took the game I played. They took it. We went to Australia. They took a game to Tokyo a handful of years back. They were just dropping these seeds to see if the world would pull on the football. They were dropping these seeds and they're finding out something really unique. They're finding out, first they thought, oh, it's a gladiator sport. Well, the Europeans like gladiator stuff. Like other people,
Roman Colosseum.
But they're learning that they do like personalities. And that's something that the National Football League has historically stayed against is personalities. Keep your helmet on, make it about the shield, make it about your jersey, not about individuals. Remember, just move it back 5 years and everybody took their helmets off. It's like, I need you guys to see that I'm good.
Right.
And then they find everybody, made them put their helmets back on. Now it's just different. It's different. They realize that, hey, people want to know more about Peyton Manning. Would you have ever thought he would have a talk show?
Right. Yeah.
That's Manning, true. Yeah. Would you ever thought his brother would be as hilarious as he is? Most of us, and not so the NFL is recognizing, like, hey man, people these personalities are important, and we will take the strategy that basketball has had to take and that baseball has always taken is we'll take our biggest guys, we'll put them out in front, and we can expand the game off of the personalities. And that could take this game from being a $50 billion a year deal to being a $300 billion. Now, if that starts to happen, then you'll start to see some of the deals like these soccer players are getting, some of our basketball players are getting. And that's just the way the game, that's the nature of the game. And to that regard, if you showed me a $250 billion annual check as opposed to this $50 billion annual check that I'm getting just playing in the United States, bro, we taking that Super Bowl over the water.
You said, baby, pack up those bags, huh?
These are facts. These are facts.
Okay.
Just you know, so you know the fan, fans just want to see people play. I like the business chess game. You know, I like
there you go.
Game. And
there you go.
Yeah. So
no, that's big time, and they're talking about maybe a franchise over there. They're definitely trying to test some things out. I see the great agent Fletcher coming in, and he's saying,
"That's my family." That's my
gentlemen. So he picks his head in here, and we definitely appreciate the great Fletch coming in, the family checking everything out. So thank you for joining us. We're on to our next topic, and once again, thank you for the gracious time that the great Terrell Fletcher is sharing with us. It gets honest and candid right here in the locker room, and giving it to us tonight. So speaking of, I wanted to get your opinion on this, and we'll start off with you, Terrell. Young Shedeur Sanders, obviously his dad is the great Deion Primetime Sanders. Dad was pretty flashy, and now son has his watch stunt kind of taking some it's catching fire, and even he's getting trolled right here by the Stanford kids. So I want to ask you guys, the Shedeur Sanders watch flex, is this classless? Is this cool? Is this genius? He's a quarterback, so this is different than dad. If I'm an NFL GM and I'm thinking about drafting this, are we down for the watch flex? Talk to me a little bit, Fletch. How we feeling about the watch flex?
It's marketing at its best. And let me say this. This is where the game is. This is where it is right now. Great money in Neil, which means that if I can get clicks, if I can get people watching, if I can get people involved in whatever it is, whether you love me or you hate me, you're still clicking and you're still talking about me. And that's how you make money in this game. That's how you make money in this game. So some of these people, just to help you understand, some of the people that we watch TV and we're like, man, why is, Whitlock such a jerk? And why is this person that? Because they understand that everybody's not going to like me and everybody's not going to hate me, but I got to get the people that hate me, because if I just have the people that like me, it's not as much money in there. It's 2 or 3 times the people if I can get both sides to be involved in the conversation instead of just going after the people that like me. So you got to, and there are people that have made a grand living being okay with that. Jason Whitlock is one. My guy on Undefeated is another one. They could care less, man, how crazy, ridiculous their takes, because it's going all the way to the bank. As long as we're chiming in saying how horrible it is, this is terrible, it's a part of the marketing ploy. Now, Deion is smart. Clearly, he's gotten his whole family in a space where they've been taught. They're learning the game. They're understanding the value of how to get people to follow you. And the same way that Deion has his sunglasses and his hat, whatever your opinion is, you're watching it. So his son's got a watch deal, and it works out that he's now doing the whole, the wristwatch thing. It's a part of football. I don't care if we're doing this. I don't care if we're doing this. I don't care. It's a part of the game to win and to flex a little bit. And then if you're losing, if you want them to stop, then you got to beat them. And when they beat them, you saw them. They gave it right back to them. And that's I love that part of the game, and I hope they don't take it away. It's not classless. It's not like, he's talking down to somebody, spitting on people. He gives everybody their respect. I really like Shador for a lot of different reasons. But one of the things that I'm learning is Deion helped them understand the business, what it means to be in this game. And this is marketing. And that's why he might come back for a senior year, because he is making so much money right now that he's going to make a killing right now. And then he's going to go get drafted in the first round and make a killing. So that's my take.
There you go. Man. Q, talk to me. I mean, there's obviously always different sides to a puzzle. Let's say you're the Cardinals. Let's say maybe you're a team that's looking at drafting him, whether it's this year or a year from now. Are you feeling comfortable that he's so focused on marketing, or is that okay with you?
I mean, well, you got to think about it. The more people that are watching him and whoever's drafting, I mean, that's more butts in the seats in my stadium if I'm an owner. So absolutely. Then we know his dad, obviously, man, he's an absolute legend. We know the kid knows the business. He's been groomed to be in the spotlight. And just as Terrell was saying, so this is nothing that's foreign to him. It's nothing foreign at all. And on top of that, he's getting trained by Tommy in the offseason. So we really can't lose with the kid. We know he has good character, spiritual grounding all the way up. So we really can't lose. Our only thing with him will be draft and make sure that we can protect him. What is our O-line looking like? Other than that, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So wherever he goes, it's gonna be a win for that particular organization. It's gonna be a win. And on top of that, go ahead, T.
No, I don't want to cut you off, but let me say this because you're 100% right. But Coach, y'all know this kind of banter and trash talk and all this stuff has always happened in sports. We just have cameras everywhere right now. Right now, everybody's got a cell phone. We've got more cameras on the sideline than we've ever had. But when you're out there giving somebody the business, you're walking past them like, when you gonna stop that 6 route? Like you always, if you DB, you know how you have everybody. It has always been this way. If you want to put cameras on everything, if you want to microphone everybody up, you're gonna hear stuff, you're gonna see stuff that people might take offense to. But here's the thing. Even the networks know that that's good TV. Even the networks know that's good TV. Yeah. See, let me help the fans understand this. Like, you don't like anybody stomping you through a game. You're a competitor. You want to win, all that kind of stuff. But if we were as mad at each other as they make it seem, it'd be a brawl after every football game.
Facts.
But instead, everybody hugging it out because we realize that, hey, man, it's about this game. It's about these 60 minutes. And after that, hey, man, what y'all doing afterwards? We got 4 hours before we get on the plane. What we doing? So and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not showing somebody how the eggs are made, but it's not. The athletes, you respect each other's grind. You know how hard it is to be here. We look at the last guy on the bench as a champion, as a winner, as a guy that we have a lot of respect for, because we realize that this is not something that's easy to do. It's difficult to compete at this level. When you get to this level, it's difficult to stay at this level.
Right.
And when you got guys that are, and when I say you're fighting for your job week by week in the National Football League, it's about 5-6 guys on the team that are not fighting for their job every week. You are a hamstring pull away. You are an ankle pull away. You are a concussion away from watching.
Yeah.
That's 85% of the team. If you're a superstar, if you got a nice big contract that's relatively new, if you start getting on the back end, you're expendable. But if you have a contract that's relatively new, if you are a superstar, if you're one of those guys, and if your line is thin, if it's only a couple of y'all that do what you do on the field, then you can breathe if you drop a pass. But if you're that third guy that stepped in to give Keenan Allen a break, and you dropped the 3rd and 7,
man,
They don't call it Bloody Tuesday for nothing.
I'm telling you, here come the Turk, boy.
Here it comes. They knock on your locker.
Here come the Turk, boy. I'm telling right?
Pressure playing in the league. I'm telling you, it's pressure.
Yeah.
It's pressure. And if you're winning, it's less pressure. If you're losing, you're talking about millions of dollars. This general manager is getting paid millions of dollars. This head coach is getting paid millions of dollars. They have sustained their families, sustained their lifestyles. They have done all this stuff. And the players are at the bottom of that. And it just comes down when you're losing. So coaches coach harder. They nitpick everything. It's like real tight in the hallways. And I've been on some winning teams. I've been on a couple losing teams. And it's tight in the building. You can cut it. You can't play loose. You drop a pass, you might not be here. That's the way the game is, because that's the business part. When it creeps into the game, it's a lot of pressure, So yeah, man. So I'm all the way down. Like what Shador and all those guys, TV loves this stuff. They love it.
Yeah.
Long as nobody takes a cheap shot and it don't create a big brawl, they love this stuff. And while he's winning, hey, let me just say this: he playing good even when they lose it.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
And Rolex and Hublot and Cartier are all dialing them up because of what we talking about.
That's right.
All of them are calling them. Yeah. So hey, man, it's worth it.
I lost you, Coach. You on mute.
Guys are hearing it from these gentlemen that are playing at a high level, have played at a high level. You can stunt a little bit. You got a little bit more great coach, as long as you're handling your business like Shador is on the field. So there we got that one. Now we're on to we got Terrell for a couple more minutes here. Thank you guys who are joining us live. If you're catching the recording, then you got to get with us live. But thank you for catching the recording. We're on to our next topic. This is one of the fan favorite sections of the show, and that is none other than the lightning round, you guys. And we bring it. Our great opportunity every single Thursday to put our guests through a little gauntlet. So we got the great Terrell Fletcher, number 41, with us, and we're going to put him through a little 60-second gauntlet. Now, he was gone like a hiccup when he was on the field, so we're going to see how fast he moves on this lightning round. And I know there's some people like the agent Fletcher watching this that know him, so hopefully we'll get some good answers. Some good, honest answers. From PG-13. He's a minister, so I know we're not going to. We're going to get into this, you guys.
Like I didn't have my life in locker rooms.
There you go. In the locker room. People coming in to find out about you. So let's get into our questions, you guys. Once again, 60 seconds. He's got to tell us the first thing that comes to his mind. So I got the stopwatch ready. And you ready to go, big dog? All right, get the sip of water.
That's a red Kool-Aid.
Okay, get some of that wine up in there.
I'm mad.
All right.
Red Kool-Aid. That's a red Kool-Aid.
So we got so we got the great Fletch.
My wife would fight me if I brought Kool-Aid home.
Hey, boy.
She is the
you on that Kool-Aid
on the universe.
And that Peking fried rice up the street. You better stop playing with me.
Oh my God.
Oh my St. Louis day on us.
And Peking
so we got the stopwatch ready. We're about to put the great Terrell through a little blitz here. All right. So first thing, big dog, that comes to your mind, unfiltered. All right. I'm not gonna start till we go. So number one in the lightning round. Hazelwood East. Go.
Oh, champions.
Barry Alvarez.
Best leader of men I've ever been around.
Junior Seau.
Best athlete, warrior, and football player I've ever been around.
Curtis Martin or Frank Gore?
Ooh, Curtis Martin.
Best player you ever played against?
Ray Lewis.
Mac and cheese or lasagna?
Lasagna.
Curtis Conway.
Say that again.
Curtis Conway.
Oh, speedster.
Shrimp and grits or steak and eggs?
Steak and eggs.
Jamaica vacation or Caribbean vacation?
Caribbean.
Alex Spanos, 50 seconds.
Lost.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Time. So we got some good ones. Like I said, in the lightning round, we always go there.
On that last one,
He's a praying man, y'all.
Hey, see, I thought about the beer that. we gotta hit the bleep button, boy.
He's a praying man, people.
Man, he's a good man. Man. Whoa,
Let's revisit. Let's revisit as we always do. So and count them up. Now he gets one for Tech-Delay. So we got one for Hazelwood East. That's his old high school. You guys, we got the great Barry Alvarez. We got 3 with Junior Sal. We got 4 with Curtis Martin. We got best player 5. We got 6 with the lasagna. We got 7 with Curtis Conway. We got 8 steak and eggs. We got 9 Caribbean vacation. We got 10 Spanos. And then we got 11. So 12 with the extra one for Tech-Delay. So thank you for coming in. You know, our number 15. 15 was the magic number. I forgot to tell you that.
I didn't know.
That was my bad. Because you might have spiced it up a little faster. But he did great, you guys, with 12. Now let's revisit a couple of these for sure. He says Barry Alvarez, his old coach, recruited him at Wisconsin. Great leader. He says Junior Seau, one of the best athletes he's ever seen. Rest in peace, Junior Seau. He's going with the Curtis Martin over Frank Gore, huh?
C. Martin over Curtis. C. Martin was a beast in his day, man. I mean, not taking anything away from Frank, but C. Martin was a monster.
Horse, yeah.
He was a beast. And Frank, he might still be playing. We don't know. Frank,
right?
Been playing forever. And then best player, you giving it to Ray, huh? You done played against a lot of dogs.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. We had already said Junior, so I didn't want to say Junior. But you're talking about 2 of the best, maybe 3 to 4 linebackers ever to play a game.
Yeah.
And I could very easily say that, to me, Junior Seau is the best linebacker to ever play the game because he could be in too. So
that's true.
He started at outside. He moved to inside. He remember when he was at SC, he was a defensive end.
That is true.
He wasn't a linebacker.
Yeah. So, it'd be between him, LT, and Ray, man. Like, they just
the names that have come up the most have been Ray in the locker room specifically have been Ray, Junior Seau, and Troy Polamalu. Those have been the names.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Troy. No, you absolutely can't go wrong with
bonafide killers. Yeah.
So those are names. So that's good to
hear.
Now,
respectfully, at his end of his career, I played against Dion, and I mean he wasn't Dion, but there were elements of him during that game where I was like, oh yeah. He was like, oh yeah.
A little different.
Yeah,
a little different.
First of all,
okay. So,
man,
what'd you say?
I said, first of all, most people don't know how big he is. Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
I heard that. You don't look it, but yeah, man. Like I heard, he got some good size, man. But he's the truth. He was the truth.
Definitely. Obviously, us being former cornerbacks, we love some Dion. And then him being the head coach of my alma mater. He's going with the steak and eggs, you guys, over the shrimp and grits. He's going with the Caribbean vacation. Obviously, we're not going to go back on Spanos. And then he's a Nike man. So thank you for joining us and having some fun. There you go. I'm right with you. Man. All right. So they're making their money. They are. So we're on to our last section, you guys. And once again, thank you, the great Terrell Fletcher, for being so gracious with your time. But Q, I think you got a good Q&A question for us tonight.
Man, I tell you what, T, one thing I've been wanting to ask you a long time, man. And it goes back, like, even when we were talking about at the beginning of this show. And I think that that's one thing that is sorely missed from public high schools, because right now, a lot of these extremely talented players, everybody's going to a private school. And in the era that we grew up in, everything was about community. That's what made Hazelwood East what it was because it was like, you have to understand, this man's whole family made that program. Agent Fletcher, his brother Jamar, me, my brother, the Starks family. This is whole families that made it's all community. So I guess my question I always wanted to ask you was, man, be it to what you were, man, our community, like, I don't know, like, how do you feel about, man, just paving the way for, man, all of us, man, all of us. Like, if you go to our school tee, it's a wall of jerseys, man, and we all up in there, but it's like,
you're all local kids.
Yeah, but it's
you were bussed in.
Nah.
Right. This all our community, man, our whole program. So, man, how do you feel about, man, just paving the way for all of us, man?
Man, you giving me chills, man.
Man, I'm telling you what it is, baby.
When I in our neighborhood, Coach, you could go to any street, you see 3 cats outside playing touch football, sideline, hitting on the sideline where the front grasses are, and you just knew, like, these dudes are good athletes. And we was just sharpening each other and we didn't know that's what we were doing. Me and Jeanne and Courtney would get up and we walk to like Haber to another street, and it'd be Bernard Whittington and and we just get it on right there. It's like it wasn't like gang fights. We just played each other, and you talk trash when you went to school. And we could go all over Hathaway, north and south. Then we'd go across the way into the trails and all those places that went to Hazelwood East. And we just knew that if we could get somebody, and we had some good guys long before me, but if we could get somebody in the right place, then people would know that it's a boatload of talent in St. Louis. And it's not just in Hazelwood, Vashon and
of course.
All those squads, they had great athletes. We didn't know. When we were in Madison, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know we were making history. It was when we won the Rose Bowl, that was the hardest year of football I've ever played in my life. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun till we won.
Right.
It was the hardest level of competition, focus. School was still there. We disciplining ourselves to stay out of trouble and holding each other accountable. We lived in this bubble, man. It was challenging, but the fruit of that discipline and that hard work was a 13-1 squad, whatever we were, Rose Bowl win. And once you kind of are a big part of something like that, it made it easy to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, Jamar, what y'all doing? You should come up and check the school out. Just do it for me. It was easy to call Rod Spiller and say, hey, man, show you this ring. Hey, man, it just made it easy. But we had no idea that that's what we were doing. We didn't even, Coach, we didn't even know what we were doing at East when we won the state championship. Our goal was to beat Hazelwood Central, right? And we beat Central and realized, like, wait a minute, getting to the top of the hill is harder than what you can imagine. But once you get up there, you realize I can get up here. Man. I belong here. Man. I belong here. And we built that kind of pride in each other. Then we start to hold each other accountable. Then we built a pipeline, and shout out to Rick Gorzinski, who was all of our first coaches in St. Louis. He just got sent to the Hall of Fame. I was out of the country, man. I missed it. But we just didn't know that that's what we were doing. Right place, right time. And none of us can control timing in life. You do your best, give your best effort at all times, and you just never know where life and fate and the good Lord will place you in history. And you'll look up and say, wow, man, we turned this program around at East, and wow, man, we changed this thing in Wisconsin. And then it was a no-brainer. Like they just started coming back to St. Louis. And before I realized it, my coaches would call me almost every year, around game 7, hey, you think you get on the phone with this kid? Hey, you think you get on the phone with this kid?
Yeah.
And it was easy, man. So I feel very honored. I feel really blessed to have been a part of it. And these places still treat me like I still live there. I can go back to St. Louis right now, man, and it's like we still live.
Oh man,
10, and go to the University of Wisconsin, and it's just like I just got finished playing. I mean, really, to be honest with you, it's the same with the Chargers. I give Dana a hard time because I think we had a couple football teams that should have went to the Super Bowl, but I mean, still a little mad about that. But I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know. So you give your best at every level. You try hard, and you can look back one day if you survive it all. You look back one day and you can say, "Yeah, wow, man, we did this thing." And it wasn't just me. I mean, Q, you was a part of the legacy, and I mean, we got a list of guys that we can talk about that made our high school great.
Oh, no doubt.
College is great, but
the thing is, T. It's like, but see, the thing is, brother, while you was like talking about, we was just trying to be central, we was just trying to be y'all.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, all of that accomplished, man. This starting off from a couple of kids in Hathaway playing Killer Man.
Come on, see, we need to do a documentary on St. Louis.
Hey, seriously,
what Killer Man is.
Man, hey,
St. Louis.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that.
You ain't never put your heard of Killer Man.
Oh, no.
You might have called it something else.
Hey, cuz why you think can't nobody tackle the boy? That's Killer Man. You watch him like, oh yeah, that's a Killer Man move right there.
So this is the way Killer Man works. That's when you don't have enough people to make a football game. Y'all get the football, set 2 goal, go touchdown on both ends, and whoever has the football, you got to juke everybody out.
Man, everybody.
And when you get tackled, you throw the ball up in the air, and everybody else, they go for the ball, and then it's after them, and it's just killing.
So it's kind of like smear the queer. I know that's not political.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but everybody had different names for it.
It's Killer Man.
But we call it Killer Man.
Okay. Killer Man. So there you go. For you young players out there, I know you guys probably on the video game, but go ask your friends if they want to play some Killer Man.
I'm telling
you can tell them you got it from the locker room.
Man, you'll be in the open field, you'll be immortal, boy. Killer Man. I'm trying to tell y'all boys.
There you go. So the great Terrell Fletcher, all those great ones in Wisconsin, and for the Chargers, it was all courtesy of the Killer Man drill. Back in
Come on, Hathaway.
All right. So hey, man, obviously a ton of fun tonight. I know that you are doing big things. You got a lot on your plate. But thank you sincerely for joining us tonight.
Thank you, man. Listen, to all your audience, man, if you guys get a chance, go check me out on Instagram, Facebook as well. It's all Terrell Fletcher. Check out my website, terrellfletcher.com. We're doing a lot of good stuff in the community, still on my inspirational stuff. But we are taking this thing to the next level, partnered with Ken Blanchard and the Blanchard Institute. And we're giving young people an opportunity to get leadership skills for absolutely free. We have right now about 34 students at Hazelwood East that are going through the program. So it's pretty good, man. So you guys catch up with us. Follow us, like us if you dig our stuff, and let's do this life together, man. I want to help you win. I feel like my calling is to help you get to your calling.
I love it. So you said at Terrell Fletcher, right?
Terrell Fletcher, all one word.
Okay,
cool.
And you guys can find him on Instagram, on Twitter. It's right there in the chat, you guys. But at Terrell Fletcher, you want some resources. You just want to talk, get some feedback, football, school, whatever. He said he's trying to help you win. So we appreciate you, Terrell. San Diego doing big things and much more success.
Man, I appreciate you both, man. Big hug to both of you. Q, it's so good to see you, man.
Man.
Such
tell
a pleasure.
all the family I said what's up, man. Your mom. Tell Brian to call me, Sean, Myron, man. Just hit me up, man.
Absolutely,
hit me up.
Man. All right. If you're in California, give me a call.
Oh, no doubt. I'll take you up on that.
All right.
All right, you guys. So hey, that is the great Terrell Fletcher once again, man. Amazing career. Q. I watched him play. I had no idea you were so close, and he was just so giving, man, and so honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's like I said, his whole family is like that, man. Always giving his parents. And then, like I said, that's people like that, man, was what our community was built off of, man. We didn't have a choice, man. We had to win. You know, when you got people surrounding you like that, this positive and want you to win, you know, and that's what we need more of. That's definitely what we need more of, man. Regardless of whatever city you grow in, man, you gotta embrace these kids because they dealing with a lot more than what we had to deal with. Of course, we had, you know, pressure and these lofty goals where we wanted to get to, man. But we didn't have, of course, social media and all these other distractions that they have. So I don't even know how they do it in some cases now. But they get
a lot, man.
It is, man.
I mean, he was talking about people coming to him with gambling proposition. Gambling is everywhere nowadays. Then you got girls coming into your DM. You know Caleb Williams getting hit up,
man.
So it's a lot, brother.
It's crucial, absolutely. But then again, that's why we have the show. That's why we have the Before You Go Pro program, and that's why we need y'all to log in, hit the button, and continue tuning in, man, because we're trying to give as much sauce as we can, bringing the best people in the industry we can, and try to steer these kids around these potholes, man, because there's plenty of them for them to fall in.
Yes, indeed. So right there is the cue, you guys. If you do need recruiting support, mentoring, you need extra support so that you can navigate this industry and navigate it to a T. Just like Q, just like Terrell, we would love to help you. So the Before You Go Pro family, these are some of my babies right here that you see that have done big things. We want you to do the same thing. So feel free, go to beforeyougopro.com. Go to the bottom of the page, hit that sign up link, and find out some more about how you can be promoted and how you can be recruited through our program and be supported. Most importantly, you guys, because there is a lot that goes on for these athletes in this industry. So hopefully that we've helped you out tonight. Another great show. If you did enjoy the content, you guys, please subscribe to our channel. Q and I work hard to bring you guys great guests every single weekend, so that or every single Thursday, so that we can help show you the ropes, and help make sure you guys are on the top of this industry. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please share with as many people as you can so we can take this thing to the top. We're building the best football community on YouTube, and we want you to be a part of it. All right. So join us next Thursday. Q, anything for the good people before we get out of here?
Hey, we getting through this season. Stay healthy, continue making plays. Players, continue listening to your coaches and your parents. And hey,
get it done. To that nitty-gritty time.
I'm telling you, really this week, this is where you start separating the men from the boys now. Because we're a little bit past the halfway mark. So we fighting for bowl game position now on the collegiate level, high school. We fighting for home field. We fighting for home field advantage for the playoffs. That's what it is now in high school, man. It's crucial. So we got to see how the chips fall. But hey, strap it up, man.
We got about a week and a half, 2 weeks left of October. And Q, we used to have a strength and conditioning coach. Rest in peace, Doc Crease. He used to say the games they remember are played in November.
I'm telling
you. So we right around the corner from November. Where you guys is put up or shut up.
It is.
If you a dog, you're gonna show up in November. All right.
Sure.
Hey, hopefully you guys had a good time with us rocking in the locker room tonight. Go watch some football, and we'll be back next Thursday. Coach Wood and Q the Guru. We'll see you at the top.